then, and I'll just do an intro once we get started. So, on the go,
Alright.
unpause it. 3, 2, 1, go. Hey everyone, welcome back to Jaraci Cup 8. We're continuing our coverage of the upper bracket here, casting games now between Shrike and Sparrow, and this one will be cool because I really have no idea which way it'll go. Joining me for the co-cast, of course, is going to be Moose, so say hello to the people, and you better get it right, unlike March Warden.
Hello, people.
Oh, so close, dude. Whatever. Yeah, this is going to be a really fun matchup here. This is in the upper bracket, going to be the round of 16. First game here going to be on the Shallows, and it's Galzian versus Coalition. Fun matchup, of course, the classic. Tell me, Moose, are you familiar with, like, are you familiar with Sparrow? Have you seen many games from him?
I actually have not.
Yeah, because he hasn't been around for a little bit now. Coming back into the tournament scene with this one, I was really excited. He joined, like, literally the last possible second. But,
Yeah, I think Sparrow was around before I started playing.
yeah, definitely he was playing a lot back in the vanilla days. Famously, like, he was always the one who could beat A-Game Inks in tournament games, but, like, he wouldn't get to the finals otherwise. It was interesting. Like, how do I say? He didn't usually win the Artifact Cups, right? But when he came up against A-Game Inks, he always seemed to beat him somehow. And then, I think they had, like, the best of 7 show match, didn't they? That, like, Magpie sponsored with, like, I think, like, 50 euros or something, making them officially professional gamers, and I believe he actually won that, so... I think A-Game will remember, though. He can tell me. Oh, probe there, taking a little bit of damage, does manage to get out. This is going to be ref mode from Sparrow, though. This is a little bit interesting to see, because normally Sparrow would go for, like, his thing that he was really famous for was that he just always would play, rail rushes. He'd go off of 2 PCs and then rail rush. And actually, I learned, like, when I first started getting into rail rushes myself, I learned from him, so... Pretty cool to see him playing again.
Yeah, see, Shrike, I mean, he's going, like, really greedy right now. I don't know. I think he went 7 assaults before he built a single unit.
Yeah, he's
Now
gone
he
for
just
AV
built an
rush, right? Yeah. And he retired his base runner, but he still popped the probe out. And, you know, Sparrow may think this is, like, ref mode, or Sport Cruiser first because of that, but... Yeah, I don't know. AAVs are a little bit late, probably. They are coming out onto the field now. Sparrow, meanwhile, looking to get up to his second base here, so... You know, I know this is your favorite map in the game, right? Right, Moose?
I think Coalition's actually pretty good on this map, I think.
Oh, okay, so it's like, it's just Saban that you don't think does terribly well?
I think Soban is the weakest of the carrier. Not
Okay,
that tough.
interesting. But yeah, how...
The distance between the second bases is really good for the Coalition carrier.
Okay, right. How are you thinking about AV Rush on this map, though? What do you think? Like, this was, I believe, Shrike's pick, right? It should have been. Let me check here. Yeah, this was Shrike's pick.
Yeah, I think it's fairly strong.
Oh wait, no, it's Sparrow's pick. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I can't read. So I know that Sparrow used to do pretty well on the old Shallows, where he would go for a rail rush anyway, which is interesting because nobody was rushing on the old Shallows. And A-Game says you should be roasting that terrible AV rush. Yeah, it is quite late, but I don't know. I wonder if he actually knew that this was like the new layout, or if he was kind of surprised when he started. Because, like I said, he hasn't actually been in the scene for a while now. This is kind of like his return to the tournament scene.
He probably played it at least, I would say, once in the group stage, I would guess. I think he just wanted to see how it plays. It is interesting, new map, new take on the map, right?
AVs are here, by the way. They're starting to hit the sand skimmers. Railgun tech is done, though, so Sparrow can queue one up on these production cruisers right away. He's actually, yeah, he's going to build an assault rail here. He canceled it for a moment, but he's got that on the queue now.
Yeah,
AVs are here, though.
Yeah, Shrike just popped out his SC to pushing up to 2 base.
Yeah, which is just what he should do.
Yeah, Shrike's definitely in a better position right now. Or he's AVs in the main.
Yeah, I agree. Even just this little amount of pulling off the mining is really big. And that first assault rail doesn't necessarily mean the push is over anyway, because if Sparrow kind of fibs the control, he could lose it, but... I mean, Sparrow's from Korea, though, so there's no way, right?
I actually really like this AAV on the left side of the map by Shrike.
Yes, me
I think
too.
a lot of times what will happen is, we might see here, Sparrow pulls off the defense here, he'll actually end up chasing the AAVs out of the base, and he'll actually leave the back open. Having this other AAV is really nice.
Look at this, he left the assault rail just in the rain? I don't know what I was going to say there. Not good, though. Yeah, he lost the assault rail there, actually, which means he's got the 2 PC up now, but he can't really do anything. He doesn't have any units that can fight these AVs. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is looking quite bad for Sparrow. And, like, Shrike's AV rush was definitely not, like, a terribly optimal timing, but it's done the damage, that's for sure. And the thing is, he's not gone yet, so Shrike already is, like, ahead here, but, like, he doesn't even, I don't know, like, he doesn't even need to get more damage with these AVs, but he is going to, right, because they're still alive. So this is pretty bad for Sparrow.
I think, yeah, Sparrow's really capped here on the RUs as well. I don't think he's going to be able to get out enough rails to clear this, the AAVs here. And I really like how he's not going into air. I think that definitely what you want to do when you're in this position.
Definitely. I mean, like I always say, if you're ahead, go for air, you'll get more ahead. It's really good that way. And I was about to say, like, Sparrow should really take that 3rd base. He's going to do that now, so that's good. Because he does have ref mode, of course.
I don't know if Shrike saw the 2nd PC. Because
I don't think so
if he
either.
did, I actually don't know if I would go gunship like that. It just doesn't seem... It won't do enough damage before it's shot down by the 2 PC.
Yeah, he's saying in chat he didn't. I would actually go for a 2nd gunship, though. I know that sounds a little funny, but... Because, like, the thing is, gunships won't die terribly fast to PCs, right? So you can get a lot of chunking in there. At any rate, though, I would invest into more air. But
yeah, I would go for the gunship and the strike fighters. The gunship can tank the PC, and then the strike fighters can just dunk on the salvage.
Yeah, exactly. And they're so good at, like, confirming those kills that the gunship starts up as well. Right now, he's gonna fly it in here, though. He'll see the skims, but I think he wants that heavy rail.
Oh, yeah, this is perfect for him.
Yeah. And, yeah, I mean, like, again, strike fighters maybe do this job better, but, like, the gunship will get it done. If he can just kill off the things that hold the AVs back, his air can continue to grow, and he'll just... I mean, the AVs are still a threat, right? So his opponent has to deal with it. Right now, though, this gunship flying over a lot of PC fire. Oh, jeez. It's making me a bit nervous.
He actually didn't kill the last heavy rail, and I actually think this is going to cost him all the AAVs here.
Yeah, he kind of pushed in there before he finished the kill, and then it turned out he didn't have the ammo for it, so he's kind of stuck in here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a defense. But we do have a nice strike craft flank again from Shrike.
Yeah, and his opponent really can't deal with this, because now he's only got 1 heavy rail, a couple skims, right? Has to build missile ships, because there's air. And now the LAVs can come in and keep him off that main base. And that's, of course, what he wants to do, right? The longer he can keep his opponent off of that main base, like, the further and further ahead he gets. So... Shrike definitely playing this one right.
Yeah, he actually did go for the strike craft air, so I think he did recognize that he needed that extra little damage that they give him. But it's just a bit too late now.
Okay, missile ship barrage could come in here, but it's gonna miss. And now Shrike, I'd be surprised if he doesn't focus that heavy rail for just a second. Yeah, he will kill it. He'll catch all these skims too, and like I said, he's gonna push his opponent off the 2nd once again.
I really think he may wanted to kill that missile ship instead, though. That heavy rail is not going to be doing anything, but that missile ship kind of stops air attacks.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. You know what else, though? He's got railgun tech right now. So what I would really like to see is another sport cruiser and then move out on, like, with a carrier power play, actually.
That's how I usually throw my games. I feel like a lot of times just running your carrier in, especially when you know the opponent has rails, he just builds 2 or 3 right before you strike, and you actually just end up losing your carrier.
You could be right about that, yeah. But if he goes for enough rails himself, that's true. Saban carry kind of uniquely squishy that way. Gunship taking a lot of fire here, but it'll probably be okay. Yeah. And what Shrike wants to do right now is to stop these extracts from getting out.
Yeah, I really like this by Sparrow though. Like he did have a defense, and now he's kind of pushing out and taking the field again. Honestly, it kind of looks like has the troops now to take it. He is missing like the missile ships will not kill the AAVs, neither will the strike or the skimmers. So he is missing something to destroy those. But I do like how he's being aggressive. He's not hiding his base.
Yeah, definitely. And he stops all 3 of those artifacts. So I love the idea from Sparrow. Like that's a really nice way to get back into the game. But Shrike, they're not going to let it happen.
And he still has the strike craft or the LAV sitting in his main, which is really crippling his eco here.
Yeah, and Marchwan as well in the chat here talking about, like, that's a lot of money in base runners too. I mean, it's probably not worth it, just unless they do actually get out, right? So, but yeah. I still like the idea though, because you can see if that worked. That's a way for Sparrow to get back into this. Right now, though, Shrike definitely needs to get that last production upgrade. He's definitely kind of choking his queues here. But that's okay. Skim's gonna try to run in on the main base. That gunship is still here, not to mention he has a really big upgrade lead to Shrike. So, I think I know how this one turns out.
Yeah, oh, he is double air too.
Yeah,
I do agree. I think at this point, you kind of do want the carrier coming off. He can put power upgrades.
Yeah, get that last production upgrade, build one more sport cruiser, right? Oh yeah, he just queued up production upgrade. So get a sport cruiser up, get a whole bunch of railguns, and just move out and chonk, right? And a couple base runners as well before this play might be nice too, but you can see he is queuing up rails now, so I like that.
We do. Sparrow went third PC.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know how I feel about that actually.
No, I know how I feel about that. That seems like a mistake. Because obviously you're only on 2 base, so you can't really support 3 production lines, let alone upgrades on the carrier, so... Yeah, that definitely doesn't seem wise to me. I think better is like teching into a Soul Chip Fab or straight into Honor Guards, which he is teching now, but like... See, I get why he's doing this, because he needs to deal with the LAVs, and he feels like maybe 3 production queues will let me get this out, but... If you ever have to build anything other than just mono skims, this is not really sustainable.
I think he's focusing the PC here. I think it's a bit of a mistake.
Yeah,
but
I could like go for the salves instead.
Yeah, he has I think 5 railguns rolling out. So
yeah,
game kind of looks in the bag already.
Definitely, I would agree with that. I was feeling pretty comfy at this point. Yeah, you should Shrike. This is definitely what the end game looks like. So rails are here. And again, it's like, what can Sparrow even build if he had the money? He doesn't really. He's got like 230 CUs, but... Yeah, there's not really much that Sparrow could do from here. Magic Cell coming out? Fan of that.
I think this map, like, we saw Sparrow go for ref first, and Shrike was able to have AAVs attacking his main, like, right as he moved out. I think that's just... This map is very small, so I think AAVs are very good on this map.
Yes. Yeah, very small rush distance, right? The thing is, people don't do AAV rush very much these days, but like, it can really punish people who go for greed and don't quite set it up right. And I feel like that's just kind of what we saw here. Shrike didn't even do it right? But he still managed to get like a huge amount of value out, so... Yeah, Sparrow gonna GG there. Yep. And we will jump on into game 2. Find it here, if I can. And game 2 gonna be on the Boneyard. This is Shrike's pick. No surprise there. I think the Boneyard is definitely his favorite map. Tell me once you get to 2955.
Well,
game 2 is better, said Shrike. Ooh. Well, I'm excited. Yeah, it's definitely so though that I feel like Sparrow was playing that like the vanilla shallows, you know what I mean? Rather than kind of the new map that it is.
Yeah, he definitely went really greedy and it didn't pay off, and I think that third PC, I mean, the game was kind of over at that point, but
yeah.
I'm at 55 by the way.
Okay, cool. 3, 2, 1, go. But game 2 on the Boneyard, Sparrow gonna know this one very well. He does get the unfortunate spawn, we would usually say. Obviously that third base not quite as good. But also if you're gonna rail rush and you have the spawn that Shrike has, you're feeling quite good about it. Because if you can get up on that hill, you basically just win the game. Let's see what Shrike is gonna do though. He's keeping the base runner this time. This might be SC first from him.
I think if you actually start SC first on Coalition, I think it's best to start 2 on RU, and then you flip 1 at 10 on CUs.
Yeah, that's what I do.
That gets you out pretty perfectly.
It's gonna do a little quick drop here though, so this is not the fastest SC timing, but it's only about like 8 seconds late, so not bad at all for him.
What is Sparrow?
Uh-oh.
Second PC.
Oh yeah, he's gonna do some of his old school strats here. I'll talk about that in just a moment, but yeah, because this is definitely what you used to do back in the day. But Shrike drops the probe out here before LAV Fab, and given that Sparrow is going to go for a rush, that's a little bit unfortunate for him. You want to get LAV Fab started fast you can, because otherwise the probe comes out, maybe it sees something, and then like, well, I don't have LAV Fab, so what am I going to do? But yeah, so about this build from Sparrow, you can see he does have Sand Skimmer Fab up. This is almost certainly going to be Rail Rush, and the thing that he used to always do, was go for 2 PCs into rails back in vanilla when this was kind of the best strat. And I always thought maybe you could fight against this. I would fight him when I played against Sparrow, going with like 1 PC with skims. So I had the skimmer advantage early, and then try and get my second PC up and kind of like match his skims and whatever. But the thing is, we don't see anyone do that these days, because I think 1 PC builds have just kind of generally become a little bit better. PCs are more expensive, it slows down your tech and whatever. But if you can make this work, it still is an effective strategy. We don't really see it very much, so I'm excited to see how Shrike handles it here. He may go for soul chips, but it's almost definitely going to be rails here. But he gets actually a skimmer upgrade before he goes in. Probe going to get absolutely sniped there, but I think Shrike saw the double PC, so he should know what he's up against.
Yeah, I think that's a worthy probe, in my opinion.
This is not a worthy base runner though, right? Because he'll distract for a little bit, because the skims are going to go over to try and deal with him. But the problem with this though is just that the base runner can't be home to set up turrets, right? And that would be really important for him. Also for Shrike, I'd say carry production upgrade needs to come out right now, but given that this is already 2 PC, maybe that isn't the best move. I don't know. I'd be curious to see what you think about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're gonna not sacrifice the base run at the start, you need to make use of his abilities, and just having it cart an artifact and just die is kind of a complete. I think you really want that turret early on, or I mean, like Soban, of course. TJ is way too good to ignore.
Shrike saying he forgot the turret was a thing. That's pretty funny. The thing is, no production upgrade on Shrike here. He's definitely not. Oh, he just queued it up. But he's not going to have the Strikecraft superiority here, so obviously Sparrow's skims are going to come in onto the main base now.
Yeah, this looks really bad for Shrike.
Yeah, right. This is where a turret is just going to be really, really powerful here. Jetpack's being deployed to try and stop the skims, but they don't do too much. I think that SC can get cover if he actually moves off the dune just a little bit here, but he does have high ground with the LAVs, so he's kind of fighting back right now. But the thing is, this Sandskimmer number advantage is eventually just going to overcome him here.
And so, there he goes. He's probably moving the carrier, actually, to support.
Yeah, and he should do. I mean, this is definitely a place where that carrier's got to be. Best thing you can do when you're getting rushed like this is keep at least one of your bases alive, right? So, not a bad move from Shrike here. Sparrow's tech is just starting though, which is Railfab. If Shrike had gone for AV Fab, normally I'd say this was a mistake, but he'd actually be kind of in a good place right now, interestingly enough. I don't recommend going AVs against the Rail Rush, of course, but it does punish people getting skim upgrades before the tech pretty well.
And Shrike does second Railfab as well now.
Mm-hmm.
I think
like
right here...
Skim's in trouble though, or Salves.
Yeah, I think right here, if the enemy swarms your Salves like this and you don't have enough LEVs to defend it, you kind of just have to give up space.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
It's not the worst, to be honest, because if you see that, then Shrike did farm that base for quite a while Sparrow was only on 1 base.
Yeah, and you know Sparrow's still on 1 base as well, right? So it's not like you're gonna lose the game all for that.
Yeah. And now I think actually the carrier killed a lot of skimmers now. I think the LAVs might be able to clean up these skims.
Actually, you're right. No, they don't have armor. No, they do have armor 1. And the skins definitely don't have the numbers here anymore, so all of a sudden Sparrow kind of on the receiving end of this. It's always really scary in a rail rush if you lose skims, and it always looks like, well, it's gotta be worth it, look how many salvagers I'm killing, but you may actually find yourself in a tough scenario here. Assault rails are coming out now, but Shrike has got that rail tech done as well. If he makes just a couple of them, maybe even just like 1 or 2 to be honest with you, he can ward off those assault rails really nicely, so... Still tense here. Definitely not decided by any means. Sparrow, at this point, I think over-investing into assault rails, but...
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not a Calcium player, but I think the 4 rails like that is very, glass cannon almost.
Yeah.
But if he can make good trades, he can actually lead LAVs really effectively with those 4.
He's going back home, though. I think maybe he's gonna go ref mode here. Yeah, I think he just clicked on it. Okay, interesting.
I like this. I think,
yeah, this could work. Transition into the mid game can always be really strong for Galzian here. This is one of these things that, again, was like very old school, very vanilla style. The fact that you could pop back onto 3 bases made these plays so much stronger. It looks like Sparrow's still going to be relying on that advantage there. But this army for Shrike could easily beat Sparrow's, I think, if Sparrow controls even just a little bit wrong, so...
Yeah, I think it's especially when you have an SC up, you should really be using your LAVs to kind of poke and scout. If he saw right now that there's no production cruiser around those troops, he would know for certain that he's kind of pulling back the rush. I
Yeah,
think
this
a
is an
big
eco follow-up, right? Get in there
yeah,
and do some damage.
he could lose a game right here if he doesn't recognize that the rush is over and start ecoing up now.
Yeah, definitely. Because like if you overcommit on the defense here, just all of a sudden you've got, you know, you've got nothing really, right? You have a bigger army, but your opponent will eventually outmatch you because obviously, you know, he's on so many more bases, right? We do have Shrike's carrier moving out though, so I think he knows now.
Yeah, well, so he's building LAVs now. I really would like to see salvagers. Like he doesn't really need anything else to hold these bases. I mean, he doesn't really know because again, he doesn't seen those PCs in a while. But he should, at this point, he's only seen like 5 skims. He should know that they're not being replenished. Something's going on here.
Definitely, and it's like I like all of these things still. I like LAVs, I like Assault Pack, but that eco is just so much more important, right?
Yeah, it's if he doesn't build it, even if he has like a really good counterattack, he will fall behind.
And March 1 is definitely right in the chat here. Like, Sparrow's field control is sort of fake in a sense, because if, like, Shrike realizes, like, this is the entire army, right, he can just boost and kill all of them, so... Yeah, I see what Shrike is saying, though. He says he doesn't want to push up to the assault rails without the assault pack done. And I guess that does make some sense, because you need to close that distance, of course, but... I don't know. It gives Sparrow so much time here, and now he's up on 3 base quite fluently. A-game is as well correct in the chat here, right? You want to get as many skins as possible to make your opponent, first off, think the rush is still going on, second, that he needs more defense, and then just buy for some time. Right now, Shrike, though, is getting up onto his second base, so he's not going to be too far behind, but this is definitely not a great situation for him.
I like the artifact grab here, actually.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I think Sparrow could have spent time making a salve, but honestly, seeing the enemy pick up an artifact can really make you feel like you don't have control of the map. And
oh, okay, I gotta go out, do something, right?
Yeah.
And then Sparrow also with that third PC, I really like that as well. I think Honor Guards are a really good call for him here, though. And I know he's gone at Honor Guards before. This is a unit that he builds quite a bit, so... Would not be surprised to see that one clicked here. He's got the money for it, but looks like he's just gonna build a couple missile ships for now. Not sure how I feel about that, actually, because, like... He could pretty easily scout the carrier to see if he even needs them, but he does get that artifact out, which is nice for him. And we're pretty thoroughly in the mid-game here, but it's a mid-game that definitely favors Sparrow being up on that third base.
It feels very slow, though. Like, I don't think Sparrow's made anything other than like a couple more skims since he went up to third base. Okay, now actually we do see double missile battery just pop out, or missile ships.
Yeah, and like I was saying, he maybe didn't need them, but...
I think that was the right call. I don't know if he scouted the Shrike's carrier, but if I was Shrike at this point, I think I would like to have taken gunship. I don't know if spamming LAVs when you haven't seen that much is a good idea, because you could like he could have honor guard cruisers out already, and I think just making LAVs is really dangerous.
Definitely, and honor guards are what he really would want too, because like, I mean, just look at the army from Shrike, right? Everything here is countered by those honor guards so nicely. Maybe a bit of a fight gonna happen on this left side. Looks like they both back away. But there's a huge backstab from Shrike actually coming in here. And now if he's built this many LAVs, this is what he wants to do. He wants to actually get some value with them. So this is great. And this is a heavy railgun too. Uh-oh. Not gonna be feeling too good about that one. And Sparrow not gonna bring his army to try and react. He's actually gonna go for like the counterattack here. So this will be interesting to see. Shrike gonna want to be careful with that missile ship. If he takes a huge amount of damage to the barrage, he'll regret it later. He's really bunched up right now.
Yeah, he does get the PC. I think that's...
Okay, the barrage... Oh my gosh, it actually does quite a lot of damage here. Only gets 1 kill, but of course you gotta realize those LAVs are not gonna heal up terribly fast either. Skim's getting chunked on the other side, by the way.
Yeah, and Rail's not in position. Here they go, finally. But they're gonna be taking shots at the salvagers actually now.
Yeah, and now the railguns are
2
here.
or 3 kills.
Oh my gosh, I think Sparrow's gonna lose his entire army here on both flanks. Ooh. Okay, he does queue up the honor guards now, but... Yike. for all the criticism of Shrike's lack of scouting here, I think it's Sparrow's lack of scouting too to not realize just how much LAV there was on the field here. He's done a lot of damage as Shrike.
Yeah, I think Sparrow he just didn't have enough troops for.
Yeah.
Like March said, he really was faking that, and Shrike called his bluff.
Yeah, it took him a while to realize he could, but he definitely did. And second basemen are gonna get ripped off as well here. Ripped off? That's a weird way to say that. Anyway, he's still got the vast, you know, army advantage here. And Sparrow getting some Sandskimmer techs, I don't hate, but I think he really needs to be looking at like honor guards right now. So
I think the reason he's doing that is he was just sitting at 1500 CUs, and I think he just queued up a bunch of skimmers. I think
does
he
have an
wanted
honor guard, by the
to
way? No, it's a PC.
see. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it is true, like, Shrike's still on 2 base here. Like, Sparrow could, if he can just get another PC up, outmatch the LAV production here. But, like, you've got the tech that would really shut these things down. I feel like you ought to just go for that. Not to mention, Shrike with a very big lead on the upgrades and the numbers already, so it's going to be a little hard to fight back against this.
Looks like Shrike is another. Or he built this. Okay, so he is going to expand rather than pushing carrier.
Yeah, I think I like that.
Yeah, it's safe.
Yeah, just it's a good call, I think. I'd like to see him not build these LEVs right now, though, and instead just focus on getting salvagers up on that base, just get there a little faster, but I think this is what he needs to do. LEVs are looking to poke in again here.
If he loses his LAV blob now, though, it could be pretty bad for him. So
yes, I mean it could be game ending.
He wants to hold the superiority here of the LAVs.
Yeah. I know he's already seen missile ships, but, like, fighter and gunship might not be a terrible choice either, because, like, if he's got 2 gunships, say, then these skims are just locked down anywhere that those missile ships are. He might still be able to get good value like that. Okay, looks like this is going to be a big fight here, but the skims are enjoying this engage, I think. They still don't really have the numbers, though. But they're right up on top of the enemy, which is where they want to be. They got that speed advantage too, but it's actually Shrike getting the high ground first. So I think he wins this. LEV's coming in from the backside as well. They kill that assault rail. Skimmerblood just going to turn and try and commit on them. Actually, Shrike should really bring all of his LEVs together at this point.
Yeah,
but I do love the way... Yeah, I do love the way that Shrike is using 2 blobs of LEVs right into 2 groups. It's really working out for him, and that was a good demonstration of why that's effective.
I think Honor Guard is going to pop right now out of the cruiser, or the carrier.
But Shrike is up on 3 base. See, he's building the last salves now. And at that point, I think, obviously, he needs to kind of be more careful. He can't just push in willy-nilly, but, I mean, take stock of the field, and he's on 3 base, his opponent's on 1, and he's queuing up a lot of LAVs. Oh my gosh. But anyway, this is good for Shrike. He just has to be careful he doesn't lose everything to this Honor Guard.
The Honor Guard actually did not shoot there. It swapped targets to the railguns, and then it lost vision on those, which was kind of a bummer.
Rail's in danger now, though. Oh my, they're gonna get chunked.
I think that's pretty huge. Without those rails, you can't really threaten the Honor Guard.
Yeah, there's not very much pressure here anymore with those rails dead. Sparrow gonna build a second one too. Once he got 2, right, we're talking about one-shotting these LAVs, so... Not to mention, the LAV blob is taking a bit of attrition here as well. And yeah, it looks like Shrike gonna back away just a little bit. At this point, he needs another tech to deal with the Honor Guards, right? And I don't think BCs would be great, but assault cruisers might be nice with artillery.
Yeah, it looks like he's building just mid-tier units right now. I think Honor Guards are not bad against AAVs and rails.
Yeah,
I think
definitely. They're pretty good at them.
Pretty okay.
Yeah. I mean, definitely the best thing about them is countering these LAVs, but they will do the job against AV rail as well. Got a railgun going to space here, by the way, from Shrike. Just doing a bit of scouting, that's all. Not sure if it shows on your replay, but he was pretty high there.
Yeah,
and third Honor Guard, right? Popping from Sparrow? No, this is the second one, sorry.
I think he's making the third, though. Unless my,
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
A little run by from Shrike, by the way, trying to hit on this main base, but probably not going to get anywhere. This Honor Guard will chunk these guys. Maybe he'll get a couple salves, though. Yeah, he's gotten 2 so far, but I think he dies now to 1 more shot. Oh my gosh, what's happening up here? PC gonna go down here, but the LAVs are getting hit by the Honor Guard again. Oh no, it's taking a lot of damage here. Oh my gosh. They get away by the skin of their teeth there. They do manage to pick up a PC, but...
On Shrike's third is getting overrun by skims right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and that LEV blob there, obviously, just... I mean, it's not here to contest, it was just getting killed by hunter guards, you know? He does have AVs, but... and he's got armor 3, to be fair, but he doesn't have that many. These skins can just kind of ignore them if they want. Yeah, very good smoke by Shrike. You know, this main base is kind of getting mined out, though, so I'm not sure if Shrike even really minds if he loses too many salves off of here. The best thing that Sparrow can get, I guess, is just, like, logistics modules. Doesn't feel great for him.
Yeah, I'm not certain he's actually gonna get this. I feel like a Shrike move that support cruiser, he would not have killed it.
Yeah, definitely. Move it and then smoke it, he would have gotten out. At this point, though, it's a lot of AVs. And the skins can get away if they stay for this logistics module. Yeah, they're gonna get it, but they'll all die for this. This is a very big mid-tier army, actually, all of a sudden, from Shrike.
Yeah, he got the production 3 and he's just cranking them out.
Yeah. But, like, honor guards can honestly beat this. This is a huge number of units, right? So this could still go very badly for Sparrow, but it could go badly for Shrike, too. It all comes down, I think, to how they control. This is 4 honor guard cruisers, wow.
Yeah, I think that, like, 2 honor guard shots and that blob of rails would do wonders, but it matters how these shots are gonna land.
Definitely. Another PC, by the way, maybe going down here, although the skins are here to contest, and this is that LEV blob that got really chunked by the honor guard, so it looks like they're all going to go down. This game has been really back and forth. Honor guards, okay, here we go, gonna take the first shot now. Now, the rails really want to target them if they can.
Ah, these hills are actually really been a real nuisance, these honor guards.
Definitely, they need to back up here.
Yeah, they can't charge up for their shots.
And Sparrow with that one artifact has got a bit of carrier power, but not much. The thing is, he really can't give up this second base, though, because the main is mined out, so... Honor Guard's gonna go for shots on the rails now. Now, if Sparrow micros this nicely, getting the ones that are damaged pulled back and the other ones bringing up forward, he can maybe not even lose any. That AoE is already being pretty massive for him, but he needs to commit the carrier now, bring that carrier in, because these AVs can kill them. Oh, he's gotta back away these Honor Guards, too. Or else the AVs will actually kill them.
Yeah, AVs do a surprising amount of damage to the honor guards.
Yes. They shouldn't really be allowed to get up this close. Oh man, the rails didn't follow up though, so they're gonna get 2 of them with these AVs, but I think the rest of them will go down.
I think, yeah, the rails will lose vision as well.
And a third honor guard pops right now also, so there's still 3 of these things. And honor guards, as I said, I mean, they do quite well against rails too. He probably loses another honor guard here, to be fair, but... yeah, one more shot will do it. Okay, it does go down. But I don't know, I really can't tell you who came out on top there. I feel like it was Sparrow. Shrike's army kind of melting away here.
Yeah, I agree. I think because now that he's mined out on his main, Shrike doesn't actually have as much money as he had before.
Yeah.
And we're definitely seeing, if you look at his current CUs, very low, but he's floating a lot of RUs.
Yeah. But I mean, how are you going to spend them, right? Like, this is really not a good RU, you know, situation. And he never got Tech 2, so he's still stuck on these mid-tier units, and I just don't know if they're really going to do it for him here. I don't know, this sounds kind of insane, but like, maybe he could transition to air from here, but... I don't know.
Shrike or...
yeah, Shrike. But... like, if he can get bombers without, like, the HGC getting their anti-air upgrade, because Sparrow won't get that unless he knows that there's bombers out. Maybe he can get a good trade here, but it's a lot of money. I don't know if he can really make that work.
Yeah, I don't think he has income to invest in that at this. I think I feel like he wants to unlock the carrier now.
Yeah, I agree.
I think if he did not lose that the SC at his main, could have swapped that over to the North Extract or the North Expo, and he could have pushed up his carrier with the rest of the troops.
Yes.
I feel like he was kind of lacking that frontline production that I think would have maybe won him that fight.
Yeah, definitely. If the carrier had been there, I think maybe he'd be looking at winning the game right now. But Sparrow, by the way, just now moving up onto his third base.
I feel like also this base runner grab right here feels really desperate. Shrike.
I agree, yeah, because there are HGCs out already, and he could maybe stop them from pushing, but based on the control in the last fight, I'd be worried if I were him.
Yeah, I think Shrike, I don't know, at this point he has 8 minutes left. He needs to get at least one of these extracts to tie up the game. Because
First
now
one
he's
gets
running...
denied.
I think he's running out of money. He feels it, so he feels like he needs to at least stall out this game.
Yeah. There are still a lot of CUs on that second base, of course, but just very low income, right? And you can't really rebuild, you know, CU intensive units at this point. And that float of RU is still just, it's crippling. There's so many of them. Sparrow, by the way, getting sport cruisers over there. It's always kind of funny to see. Although, to be fair, I don't think he'd have won that in vanilla either, but... Another honor guard on the queue for Sparrow. I think that's obviously not a bad choice. But I maybe would like to see him building heavy railguns too. Because I don't really know if the skims are going to do a whole lot here. Shrike, though, it looks like he will get this this artifact out with the base runner.
Yeah, that'll be good for Shrike. I think right now I would like to see Sparrow kind of hitting some shots with the the honor guards and backing up.
Yeah.
But without a sport cruiser out here, I feel like the coalition units are kind of subject to just losing health and not being repaired.
Yeah, dying to attrition. You know what else would maybe be like really big for Sparrow, but again, I don't know if he's got the money for this, but if he could get Rail EMP actually. By the way, PC gonna be committed forward to kill the probe. I really like that move. But if he could get Rail EMP here, you can imagine, you know, if the units like try to commit here, the AVs are smoking and moving up, he just EMPs them. That gives the honor guards a really, really good window to back away. I think that it really is like a nice synergy between Rail EMP and honor guards. For now, they're gonna dunk this rail up on the high ground.
Yeah, I think this is exactly what Sparrow wants to do. Just take pod shots. I think he should be
kiting,
playing a little bit more cautious. Yeah, kiting out here.
Yeah, definitely, because the AVs are getting close now. And that one honor guard is low, too. Oh,
yeah, he's finally moving it, but it might be too late. Yep.
One of them getting carrier blocked as well. You hate to see that. He can take one power of the... Yeah, he's done it, so he puts 2 power in weapons as well. But the AV smoke here just going to be for the retreat. He is pretty thoroughly pushed back. So one honor guard went down, but again, I don't really know who came out on top there.
Oh, there's
third honor guard
huge carrier block on that other honor guard. It just popped out.
Yeah.
Doesn't even get a shot off.
Oh dear. Yeah, it's just gonna die to these AVs, isn't it?
I mean, there's only 2 AAVs left, though.
Yeah, and that's kind of the whole front line for... Because, like, once these go down, remember, those skims are still out.
And... Okay, so he's building 2 more, but they might not be here for some time.
Interestingly, though, I think he really needs to prioritize the base runner, and that is what he's gonna do. Well, no, it looks like he's prioritizing the salves here. Or, rails, sorry. Can't speak sometimes.
I think he'll have enough time to kill them all.
Yeah, but he definitely doesn't want to gamble with this base runner getting out, because that would be a big deal. With only 5 minutes left on the clock, I mean, we're talking about maybe the game here. So he is going to recommit onto the base runner. He's going to rip that one off. I've said it again. What does that mean? Whatever. And Shrike now. What the heck is he doing with his carrier and the support cruiser? Like, is this just eco-suicide? What's going on here?
This is starting to look really bad for Shrike.
Yeah, because he can't knock off these honor guards, right?
Yeah, he just doesn't really have an answer for them. I mean, you said bombers, and I thought that might have been a bit too much money investment, but I think now he would want a bomber.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, because like the problem is he didn't invest into late game tech back then when he had the choice, and now it's just like so much money to get in there, right? I think, like, if he had invested earlier, what he really should have had right now is artillery, and then the assault cruisers are a very nice answer to skims. I think they do better than the assault, the AVs as well, but... Skims, by the way, they really want to make a run by, but they didn't actually catch any salvagers, so a bit of a throw there, but... Happens, you know. Now, from what I'm really missing from both these players, though, is like 1 or 2 base runners. Aha, look at that, Sparrow just queued one up.
Yep,
nice.
About to say that. And they're both players are running really low in CUs.
Yeah. It's hard to make that investment, right? But I mean, like, at this stage, when the clock has only got 3.5 minutes left, you really got to be looking at those artifacts, because they can win you the game. Sparrow's carrier, by the way, obviously not very powered up, but it's got a little bit. Yeah, Shrike pointing out he's got 1,700 RUs in the bank right now. It's true, and I mean, it's really hard to use these RUs, so...
Yeah, he's going for power too. I think at this point, you actually don't have enough... I mean, getting 2 powers isn't bad, but you actually don't have enough money to commit to like the whole power tech upgrades
Yes,
all the way up
I
to
agree.
power 5.
I agree.
I think assault cruisers really would be the answer here.
Yeah.
I think this is something that I do in my games where I'll sort of have like a mid game, or if I don't tech into a late game tech early on, I kind of will just I kind of think the game's gonna end soon, so I won't tech in. But I think it's always better to have the units you need rather than to not have them when you did.
And Shrike's saying those logistics modules hurt. They do, because again, we're CU capped right now. Look at his fleet cap, 41 over 25. Not good, right? But you're definitely right. I mean, if you don't commit into those late game techs in the mid game, then when you get to the late game, right, it's not really time to get them anymore. It's time to already have them. So.
Actually, I think he can't stop this extract. I think it'll be too late.
No, he can't really. Oh.
Yeah, we see a nice hit. Oh.
Look at the blobbing here. Honor Guard's
Carrier
like,
doing carrier
wow.
thing.
Honor Guard's giving a real godsend to Shrike there, actually retargeting, so they didn't just like wreck that blob. He may be able to kill this base runner, but if he does, second base is for sure going to be forfeit. And I mean, if that happens, like, how does Shrike win this game, right? I mean, on 2 base from this position, it's just even worse. He will stop it, though. And that's vital, because that would be the game right there. But yeah, exactly, that's what I was thinking. Support Cruiser goes down on the second base. There's no more healing now for this carrier.
It looks like this entire time, Sparrow's just been sitting comfy.
Yeah.
Okay, has built another honor guard, I see.
Well, that's a good point. Shrike pointing out there's actually only 700 CUs left on that second base, so... We're actually getting to that point where we're almost starting to mine out, like, the second, but... Shrike now committing into power 4 here, but he actually doesn't have any RU salvages. Well, I guess he doesn't need RU salvages, does he? He's got quite a bit. But, yeah, this is gonna be rough, because again, like, now Shrike can't rebuild his army at all. So Sparrow just continues to build more honor guards, I think, is probably the play here. And yeah, he is. He's got 3, he's building a 4th. Eventually, you know, we're gonna enter, like, the deathmatch scenario. Sparrow obviously has good hold over the field. Eventually, he can just have enough units that he feels comfortable getting another base runner and just winning the game.
Yeah, I feel like the last base runner, it kind of was misplay. I think he could have defended it, just kept it with his honor guards.
You might be right.
He kind of just threw it in there.
Yeah. I just really don't see a way Shrike gets back in, though, of course, but...
Yeah, he's making another honor guard. I think he really would want to make another base runner here as Sparrow.
4 honor guards, probably enough, right?
Oh, yeah.
Especially against this mid-tier army. He may not realize just how much he's lamed his opponent, though, because he's got, like, nothing left here in terms of, like, rebuilding army.
Yeah, I think Shrike's just holding on for 1,200 RUs so he can get that nuke out, but I don't think that nuke is going to save him.
Well, even if he gets it, is he even going to be able to use it? Because, like, it costs, 500 CUs, too. Yeah, this is probably going nowhere for Shrike.
He is doing a little cheeky AAV sitting in drop zone, but
yeah, Egan's right too. He's actually he's waiting for all these CUs, but he's actually LDMing right now, which is kind of another feels bad man moment, but.
It's an annoying thing with the coalition or Saban carrier though. They like never really want to get next to the minerals.
Yeah, you have to like rotate it and then drive it like sideways up to it, but it's tough. We are officially in sudden death, by the way. You don't usually see this in DOK. Normally the game has ended by here, but.
Bro, still no base runner here.
Yeah.
I mean, in his, to be fair, he's not really pressured right here. He doesn't have to game.
Yeah. Honor Guard's now going to start hitting some nasty shots in on these rails. Again, this army from Shrike you should essentially consider irreplaceable, so this is really rough for him to lose units like that. He is going to hide over the hill, though.
This looks like Pickett's last charge here with this carrier.
Indeed. Honor Guards
Oh,
actually aren't the best against carriers, but they still do the job, as you can see.
Yeah, Skims overpower the AAVs here.
Yeah, by a long shot.
Further proof that Skims are better than AAVs.
Obviously, obviously. We can get Power 5 from Shrike, but now there's no chance of getting Eco back, so... So he's never going to be able to use that nuke, but he will at least have Power 5 for healing up the carrier, I guess? But Sparrow just needs a base burner, and he is going to build one now. And this carrier basically is going to have to fight off the entire army from Sparrow, which is 6 Honor Guards, although one of them is back at home for some reason. It's going to have to fight the entire army, basically, to stop that base burner's extraction, and all it's got to do is Power 5. That's not even really that much. And 1 artifact, I guess, but... This does not look great for Shrike, I guess I'll say.
No.
Still, though, he will have Power 5. It's about 30 seconds out. I think he's going to retire these AAVs and try and get Salvagers back up, but... You wish you'd gone BCs. I'm actually not sure, Shrike, because I think that maybe BCs would lose to the Honor Guards as well. My thought was artillery, but I don't know. I think for sure battlecruisers can work.
I think BCs are actually really cost effective. I think what holds them back is the huge production time. And I think actually in this game, how slow it was, you would actually have gotten away with it. It would have been good.
Possibly so. Artifacts being picked up now, by the way.
He actually does not get the nuke with the recycle, so.
No, he'd need a couple salvagers. So that's another bit of a rip. He almost has enough money for a support cruiser as well, but still not quite enough. Imagine if he did have the money, though. Look at these Honor Guards. I don't think a nuke actually kills him in one hit, but... Oh, he's gonna GG, yeah. He knows, he knows.
Nukes actually got buffed against cruisers, right? They should one-shot at the epicenter.
Oh yeah, maybe it does. I wonder... Imagine what would have happened then if Shrike had killed all 5 of these Honor Guards. I would lose my mind, man. It's like one nuke in the middle kills all of them. He does choose to surrender, though. And by the way, I just want to point out Sparrow got Honor Guard anti-air, so clearly that's really what won him the game.
I don't think he got that until like very near the end though.
Yeah, like right at the end. It's a little bit funny. Hey, maybe he was thinking about bombers too. At that point, he definitely couldn't have really used them though. I just want to point it out because it's the best tech in the game, as we all know. And I mean, gonna load into game 3 here. Also, Shrike's pick gonna be on Firebase Krill. So tell me when you're at 29:55 and we'll go in for this one.
Alright. Alright, I'm 25:55.
Alrighty, 3, 2, 1, go. And this map for Shrike is gonna be his pick. Going for SC first again, I think. No, it looks like he's gonna retire that base burner. Probe is out as well. So this may be a AV rush once again. I've got to say, that doesn't feel bad at all, because this is obviously Firebase Krill, where AVs tend to be pretty effective. Sparrow, I think, gonna do the same thing. He's retired his base burner. Actually, he started Sandscreamer Tech already, so this might be a 1 PC play.
Sorry about that, I was talking to my girlfriend.
No problemo. I know how that is. Actually, I guess I'm lucky that way. She joins me on stream. It's pretty unusual, I think. What do you think? Can we make her into a co-caster? Since
I don't think she knows that much about this game.
No, she knows almost nothing. But hey, that could change. You never know. She's in chat right now, I think, so probably gonna feel weird about us talking about her. Yep, there she is. Anyway, it is gonna be an AV rush here from Shrike. Sparrow's got that, he's got that Sandscreamer Tech done here. He's gonna pop some guys up onto his second base.
It looks like he might be going for ref mode.
If he
No,
did,
okay,
I would tear my
no, he
eyes
goes-
out with a fork. Yeah, it's gonna be a Soul
He
Chip
goes
Fab
salt
instead.
chip. Yeah.
Sparrow should know better than that. If I see top tier players going for like the Sandstorms into ref mode build, I swear I'm gonna die. Probe gonna get sniped here, by the way. No, it actually gets out. Okay, that's quite nice.
That's I think he got RNG'd right there because I feel like the mistrans just dodged all the bullets.
Yeah, that last volley definitely did. You're gonna be happy about that, though. I know you're always upset when probes die to PCs too easy.
Yeah, I think it happens a bit too easy, but
Sparrow! He's going ref mode, man. Why would he do this? Oh. He's Korean, man. If he can't figure this out, no one can.
yeah, this feels very like stilted. He didn't even
Oh.
He's also going a stealth ship at the same time.
Yeah, right? Like, do one or the other, not both. Probe comes back in to check, by the way, gets sniped, but you did see that PC there. The reason Shrike felt like committing that probe in there is because obviously that PC, like, it didn't look like ref mode, so it shouldn't be here, so he's just checking for the tech. But seeing it there is going to tell Shrike, well, I guess he's actually doing ref mode, which is true, so I'm going to freaking die, though.
I mean, I think Shrike did the same AAV rush, I guess you'd call it, that he did the first game.
Yeah, which again isn't the best timing, but it's okay. He's got
I think
armor
it'll
1
work
tech
here.
Yeah, me too.
I think, like, Sparrow, I guess it's odd build, and he got out the, he didn't have enough assault shifts out in time.
He's gonna have 3, I suppose.
Stacking armor 1 right now as well.
Yeah, but obviously Shrike has got that as well. And the Sport Cruiser's on the way for him.
Yeah. This is something that I think, like, when you trail in units like he is, you actually, even though he has 3 on the field, it's pretty much like he has 1. So
Yeah, he's taking a bunch of 1v2s.
Yeah.
He's gonna pop the smoke, though, to try and get out. That's definitely what he wants to do. Now it's a 2-on-2 properly. But he's used that smoke, which is a really valuable ability here.
I think if he does get that high ground, though, which I think he's trying to go for, he will be able to snipe Salvager.
A little bit of a questionable smoke there, though, as he actually kind of just blocks the second guy from shooting for a second. Yeah, he does have this high ground now. He's gonna fight one-on-one with this guy off the high ground. That's a really good call, obviously, because if you didn't know how high ground works in this game, it's very good. Can't finish any of these kills, though. Well, actually, I take it back. He's gonna finish one of them here. And he's not gonna get finished either. And in fact, look, he outranges the assault chip, so he kills that second one, too. Another assault chip from Sparrow is moving toward, like, his Shrike's extraction zone, but there's nothing to defend this base all of a sudden. And so this is exactly what Shrike wanted to get out of these AVs. And he's on 2 base, by the way, right? So he's got the follow-up just perfectly here. Fighter and gunship, really nice call from here if he's not worried about interceptors. But there's a lot of stuff that he can do from this point.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like firing gunship, you see assault ships, doesn't feel like it's that good. You're pretty much only targeting the eco, and as soon as they build missile ships, the gunships are not effective, or they're not effective against assault ships at all. So
yeah, gunships. Yeah, you're right about that. I wonder if maybe he could just make like a 2-base play then. Honestly, like get another Sport Cruiser and drive out with that carrier. It's risky, obviously, but
yeah, I'm not a big fan of 2-base plays. I know they work out somehow, but
yeah, it's just it's really high tempo, right? And I mean, like against
right
Sparrow.
Now, oh
Sorry,
yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, I think right now he could actually go to 3-base.
Yes, he could do that too.
Like he knows Sparrow is just, even if Sparrow pushed back and claimed his second and then attacked, he would have so much time by then that he would be able to muster a second army. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of okay. There we go. He is building the second SC here.
Yeah, but it's gonna be fighter and gunship. Not sure if you noticed. He also should be queuing out the production record. Yeah, there it is. It's only like 4 seconds off. So this is gonna be a fighter and gunship play. Looks like from him, but he will get up onto 3-base on the back of it, I think. So that's not bad either. I mean, obviously, like, you know, regardless of what he does, he is ahead here, so he can probably make it work. Fighter and gunship is not going to be bad, though, because if his opponent does expand onto 2-base, all of a sudden these strike fighters are going to come up and snipe some salvagers. In fact, I mean, looking at what Sparrow is doing, though, like, he needs to get this hold off, right? And so, like, he's really low tempo right now. He's got to build so many units to try and, you know, finally get back up onto his second base here. And in the meantime, Shrike can build, like, he can build, like, 9 strike fighters and then just kill a PC randomly, right? I mean, imagine that. That's gonna be rough.
This is something I noticed from Sparrow both games, is that he's really passive with his carrier. Like, I feel like he has ref mode. He could move his carrier to his second now and push away those AAVs.
Definitely. That's what he ought to do too. And this is definitely a mistake from Sparrow. I guess he's just a little rusty, eh? But he should know about this. Couple of skims here, by the way. Gonna scout Shrike's air tech if Sparrow is looking for it. Actually, I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know what you're doing, because one skim is enough to scout, but 3 are it's not really gonna, because the support cruiser is not really gonna threaten the salvager, I don't think.
Yeah, Shrike just gonna build a couple AVs too. So I mean, even if it does, it's not really going to, right? Like, he'll just bring those AVs into the hood and take care of this attack. Yeah, I don't know. This looks a little bit questionable. But I mean, again, you've also got to realize, like, as long as Shrike stays here, he's winning. So the reason he's not making any dramatic plays is because he really doesn't have to. Oh boy. Houston subbed with Prime. Hey. What a baller. Yes, someone else followed. I didn't say anything about it, though. Because I'm a tactless hoe. Assault Chip's hitting up on the third base, though.
Yep, I was about to point that out. That's pretty good. But he still doesn't have a second base.
Yeah. And he's trying to clear it out now with these Assault Chips. Shrike kind of messing up the unit control just a little bit. But okay, he is going to target the right guy now. Now this AV needs to smoke itself. Goes down instead. AVs on the home base side, though, are doing just fine, though. And with those strike fighters, he does manage to clear up the Assault Chips. But he doesn't really win the fight at Sparrow's second. They kind of go even here. So Sparrow will get up onto 2 base eventually off of this. And he's seen air now as well.
If you check Sparrow's production right now, I do not agree with the third production.
Third PC? Oh my gosh, yeah.
I think this is when you talk about Coalition buying production upgrade off 2 base and whether or not they can afford it. I feel like it's the same thing here. I don't think he's gonna be able to make much use of this third PC.
No, you're definitely right. You're definitely right. Sparrow Sim Server 3 PC confirmed. Yeah, it looks like it. I would say you're right. Just because, I mean, like, you have way too many production lines here. You need to get salvagers up, and at this point, you know, you're not going to sustain... You're not even really going to sustain salvager production off this many production lines, are you? So... And it is going to be TAC bombers, by the way, from Shrike. Wow. That's a fun one to see. We do have an A missile ship out, I think, for Sparrow? No, we don't even. We have the tech only. The Soul Ship here, though, waited its time.
Oh, he goes down, actually really good. If you have 2 TAC bombers and maybe a strike fighter or 2 can actually snipe PCs, and when you're this far ahead, killing these PCs is deadly.
By the way, it's just really a bunch of skims up as well for Sparrow. So, see, he's dumping all the damage from the strike fighters into the PCs here. He should dock the one that's injured, but he can come in for another pass. He can probably kill them with the AV follow-up. Really wants to just dock this injured guy, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like this, I think the, Sparrow just feels really pressured to make something. I feel like that's what all these skimmers are for. I don't think they do anything in this game, though.
Yeah.
Oh. He does have a siege cruiser, though.
Oh, what the heck? How did this happen? I totally missed that tech. Yeah.
Kind of missed on the barrage there, but...
He's gonna kill the missile ship now. You can obviously tell why he's doing that. Thing is, there are actually 3 PCs here, so there's quite a bit of concentrated anti-air. I'm still nervous that Shrike hasn't docked the wounded guy, but... AVs for now just gonna really kind of stick in there, and they're all gonna die here, though. So I don't know if he really needed to do this, but... I don't know. I mean, he does have TAC bombers on the way, though, so... Like, if he can start getting some PC kills now, I think he's going to be in a really good spot. I would like to see him get a third one, though, honestly. Because until your opponent knows you have tac bombers, you want to kind of get as many as you can, I think.
And a third can guarantee the kill on doing production cruiser too, which is nice. But
Yeah.
it's kind of a waste, but if you have to do it, you have to do it.
Indeed. But he's also
Then
got
again,
these strike fighters to do it, so...
I would say that he has actually so many production cruisers that it will take pretty much 2 or 3 docks to kill all of them, which is...
Yeah, it's crazy, right? But see, look how bunched up they all are, right? A third bomber. Cole can only get 2 bombers? That's not true.
No, they get 3.
Okay, so that's why he didn't build a third bomber. But yeah, like if he drops all 3 of them on like the middle PC here, he can actually probably get enough damage to kill the other 2. So, yeah, 3 bombers would be really nice. Excuse me as I cough here. Looks like tac bombers for now though are gonna go on the missile ships.
Yeah, this
is
the right
fair
move
play.
here. The second bomber needs to go in. There we go.
Actually, at this point though, maybe it ought to switch because like I think the AVs are gonna kill them, but
No,
it does go
yeah,
down though. Strike fighters are on the siege cruiser now.
This is not good for this. I guess going for the siege cruiser could be worth it, but he's probably gonna lose a lot of strike fighters here with these triple PCs.
Yeah, he might lose all of them. It looks like one of them gets out, but and that is a lot of anti-air. But to be fair, he's killed everything, so at this point, yeah.
Yep.
Look at that! The AV killed the carrier! Yeah, but obviously Sparrow knows what's happening here, so he chooses to surrender. So that's going to be GG for him. And Shrike taking game 2, but this series is still close as we move up... game 3. Takes his second game. But this series is still close as we move up onto game 3. 4. My gosh. Numbers are just not my friend. You'd think someone studying electrical engineering would know how to count, but...
Yeah, I feel like that game, Sparrow just kind of looked out of place.
Yeah, definitely. He basically, like, he could have just lost by build order if Shrike controlled a bit better, but Shrike was okay. And he just couldn't get back up from there. Shrike just constantly just hammering him over and over again, right? Hey, it's another bot to ban. Someone can handle that for me. Anyway, next game going to be on Canyon Outpost, so tell me when you're at 2955.
Alright.
Okay, and 3, 2, 1, go. So this time I wonder what Sparrow will go for, but I think maybe this is ref mode first for real this time. He's keeping that base runner. He drops the scanner close though, so it's an interesting scanner position.
This is I actually don't play this map that often. I'm not a big fan of it. I feel like the middle bridge is actually it's really hard to defend against, I guess.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree.
You have to either have your forces in the open, where they can get flanked by the bar bridge, or like really far away, like closer to the re-extraction.
Definitely. And the other thing to note about this game, this map, is that like, if the carrier moves out, like let's say we're looking at the coalition carrier here, he moves out to like where that base runner is right now. Such a huge flank can come in on the bridge there, right? That like clearly you know, how do I say? Like, you can't commit into a carrier power play unless you've also got army behind it, right?
Yeah.
And I actually really like that about the map, but it definitely does make it harder for some players who focus a little bit too much on carrier power. We're getting sniped here, by the way. This is nice for Sparrow.
I actually like on this map, actually driving your carrier up to the far bridge where you actually can't cross, but you could just sit it there, and it can defend that choke pretty well.
Definitely, yeah.
And then have your other forces kind of defend your main.
Yeah, it's not a bad play. Only problem, of course, is that it can't become offensive. The carrier can't really move out from there, but I think that's what we often see people do. They bring that carrier onto the third base, and then it's ready to plug up that gap anytime that people try to attack it. Ref mode coming out here, by the way, for Sparrow, but he's already gotten Sandskimmer Fab, so I'm going to tear my eyes out with a fork again. But that's okay. I've seen worse, like last game. Still, though, I really want Sparrow to be doing better builds than this. But it's really curious to me that he doesn't feel like he can rush, because I feel like that's really where he is strongest.
Yeah, I felt like his the game on Boneyard looked very
So
very good, but he just hasn't gone back to that.
Yeah, right? He definitely could have won that game. Well, he did win that game, actually.
Yeah.
It turned out to be pretty even, but he definitely had a very big lead on it in the beginning. Assault Chip Fab coming up from Sparrow, by the way. He's looking to get this base runner out, but there are AVs from Shrike, and it looks like it's another AV rush from him. Again, still not a great timer, but he could have these, I think, maybe as much as like 30 seconds faster. But he should be able to stop this base runner at any rate, so this is okay for him. Armor 1 done as well. So yeah, these skins really can't contest.
Kind of a small detail, but I think Shrike went 8 salvagers before he got AAV tech, or before he finished AAV tech this time. I think in the other 2 games he had was 7 salvagers. I wonder if that was like a conscious decision he made, because having the extra salvager on to use, I think, is pretty good. I feel like only going 7 is kind of a letdown.
Well, I'm thinking if you're gonna go for an AV rush, though, you really you're doubling down on getting damage with those AVs, and so if you go for any number of salvagers on the second, I think it's actually before you get LAV tech, that is, I think it's actually not good for you. The thing is, he's always been deploying the probe, though, and the probe really will slow this down a lot. So it's kind of interesting.
I don't know, just interesting things I like to think about, like...
Yeah, and it looks like he said he did that on purpose, though. Yeah, because he was saying it looks like this is a slower map, I ought to go for 8.
I think he killed 2 salvagers there.
He did, yeah.
That's really worth it.
And Shrike can flip these 2 salves back onto the main base. I don't know why he's not doing that. He's actually kind of letting this one die, maybe. Oh, jeez. This is going to be too close for comfort. Yeah, he does lose it. So 3 salvagers with, 5 skins against the guy who's AAV rushing, I'd call that pretty good.
He does kick him off the second base, though, on Sparrow's side of the map.
Yeah. Sparrow getting a second PC right now. He's got Armor 1 coming up. So it's true, Shrike has gotten some damage as well. But if they both hold even here, it's Sparrow with ref mode, and Shrike still needs to get that next PC up, so... Or, Sport Cruiser, sorry. So I think that, Sparrow is still ahead here. Question is just how long does it take him to clear out the AVs, but he is getting Armor 2. But so is Shrike.
I think Shrike's a bit ahead of here, though, because that ref mode isn't really being utilized. Meanwhile, Shrike can... It's not efficient, but he can still long-distance mine, which is... It'll give him ahead just a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. But getting that Sport Cruiser out is going to be important. And Cable's right, I did call it out, okay. Yeah, I'm not reading chat because the game's too interesting. Too much fun commentary. Anyway, Armor 2 done on these assault ships now, and I think Sparrow is ready to start pushing him. But Shrike has got more AVs here, he's got 6 now, so... I don't know, this is just going to be a little tough for Sparrow to actually force Shrike out of here. I think what he's got to do, he's got 2 PCs, right? He really needs to use that carrier, but... Again, he's just a little bit too passive with his carrier.
Yeah, I mean, both players at this time realize that Shrike is not going to hold this here forever, so I think this is a time when there we go. So he is getting the second, or the first Sport Cruiser out.
Yeah.
He needs to make use of this time that he's bought himself, and he is taking fire and gunship. Okay.
Yeah, and that could be nice. Yeah, it worked for him last game, right? Why not try it again? Assault Ship's on a really nice high ground here, though. They're gonna really chunk these AVs. And you can see the AVs have actually more range than the Assault Ships, but not by very much. It's hard to utilize. There's actually a little hill here, though. It looks almost like when you're doing your laundry, you're trying to iron a shirt, right? And it's just there's a little crease on it. But Shrike could actually have hidden behind there if he wanted to, but looks like they're gonna take just kind of an all-out fight right now. And the thing is, assault ships, when they're really bunched up like this, generally will perform better than these AVs. So he's only lost 1 here. He's able to take a really nice trade.
Yeah, actually, if Shrike has actually managed to put an AAV back at Sparrow's main base right here, and this
whoa, yeah.
We did talk about AAVs a bit in chat today, but 1 AAV is not going to be killed by this carrier. It takes a while, and it actually does a fair bit amount of damage to the salvage.
Yeah, so it's a lot of mining time delayed, right?
Yeah, I think he's not microing it right now, but I think if he drove by, I think he could have like you can almost trade 1 or 2 salvagers for the AAV, which is pretty huge if it's just a carrier defending it.
Yeah. Especially using that smoke on the missile launcher to try and minimize the damage from that carrier. But for now, it's production upgrade coming out for Shrike, the first one actually. Oh wait a minute, yeah, this is quite late. So he's got fighter and gunship tech done, but there's a oh no, look how many AAVs he's queued up. There's just a huge number of assault ships coming after him. His macro kind of faltering on the back line here. He could really pay for this.
He had actually like 3 strike fighters queued up, canceled them. I think he recognized that he would not be able to fight against these assault ships with just 3 strike fighters.
Yeah, so he needs to go for a carrier block here, which he's doing, and then he needs to launch that strike fighter for sure.
Yeah, this looks actually very...
Yeah.
He doesn't have any troops here.
Power 1 now. He needs to get Power 1 started right away. Power 1! Oh gosh. Okay, there we go.
There we go. I think he's right on top of the troops, so I don't know if he needs it immediately, but he really just needs, I guess every AAV can put a drop of smoke on those salvagers alive. Because if he loses that, this game is going to be very hard for him.
Yes, definitely. And for now, his smoke has been pretty good here.
Yeah, that was actually a really good hold, I think. He popped the AAV out and dropped the smoke immediately on the salvagers.
And he's got one more just now, so the smoke is expiring, but he can block it.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. I'm kind of amazed, but this is very good for Shrike to clear out all those assault ships. He did still lose the second base, but... You know, we do have interceptor tech now, though, so for Sparrow, this might be interesting to see what happens at this point. And yeah, it was armor too. Yeah, this will be interesting to see what happens now. Sparrow getting missile ship tech up, because he has seen, obviously, these strike fighters. But the thing is, I don't know... I mean, this is maybe not like a bad call, but his interceptors are going to be able to clear this out pretty nicely, so...
Yeah, I like how this game is flowing, Shrike pushing, and then rebuffed, and then Sparrow pushing, and now we'll see Shrike pushing back across the map.
Yeah, only question now is, do these interceptors make a difference? But Sparrow probably wants to hide them until the strike fighters from Shrike get committed in. My only question, I guess, is why is he building skims here instead of assault ships? But, I don't know.
He did this on last game too, where I felt like he would much rather be building assault ships. He's also
getting some
missile ship, which I think is a bit of a... He double up on anti-air, which I think is a bit of a waste here.
Well, he can... So building these missile ships, I guess he can use his air against his opponent's AVs instead of using it against his opponent's, like, strike fighters, because the missile ships will handle it for him. Although, that being said, he's going to catch a strike fighter right now. But, I mean, he really just needs assault ships, though, and teching into missile ships really cost him a lot of RU.
Yeah, I think, in general, I don't think strike fighters are really that good against AAVs, especially when they're moving.
They miss a lot. So they will kill them, but like slowly, right? And having these assault ships to deal with the AV blob would be much better, I would say.
And now they're docked. Now he has to give up his second base.
Yeah. Shrike, though, actually gonna get missile battery fab himself, so he really doesn't want to stop fighting the air war. And at this point, he probably does actually need that anti-air, because the interceptors won't be able to fight the strike fighters if missile batteries, like, follow around them. And actually, Rompa, I'd say this is something that you definitely wouldn't have done in vanilla. I think this is actually a patch thing, but I just think Sparrow committed into it too early. You know, he should have just built assault ships and then tech into missile batteries if his opponent continues committing into strike, or if he sees missile batteries come out. Looks like we could see Eco dying here, though, but Shrike not actually managing to get any salvager kills here. He killed 2 off the main base, it looks like.
Yep.
That AV is still alive, actually. Okay, there we go.
Oh, and look at
what the? Oh my gosh.
Shrike's main base.
Yeah, I didn't see this at all. I just looked over. Opened the minimap, like, where did those skims go? They killed a logistics module, too. I don't think they get this SC, though. But maybe
they might, because the, oh no, the AAV here
should smoke it, right? And
then smoke it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the smoke. Skims also counter salvagers. Yeah, that's definitely true. Although not many things don't. You know, there was one game that I played on this map, but like the old version when it was a 2v2 map against Descara in one of the Karat Cups, where I was gonna win, I had all these railguns, and then like he killed them with det packs, so I was like so mad. Because that I think would have been the first time I had ever beaten Descara. Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah, I feel like both players doubled down into air.
Yeah.
Also, this being coalition, you can actually repop your main base or any base for that matter really quickly. Just
Yeah.
the reduced times in the carrier just double pumping them out. So
Shrike
he does
fighters.
lose a lot of money, but he actually the downtime that is minimal.
Yeah. Also, no way, Orb. Of course I've beaten Descara. That would have been the first time, right? You're not better than me. I refuse to admit it. Hashtag not petty at all. By the way, from Sparrow here, we actually have bombers coming out, so that's going to be pretty interesting to see. He does have missile ships here, right? So he obviously can hold off the strike fighters even without using the ints. The thing is, that's really important because strike fighters tend to be the counter to bombers. So that missile ship needs to be wherever the bomber wants to hit, I'd say, because otherwise if there's a missile battery there, the interceptors can't really commit onto it, and then the bomber could die. For now, though, it looks like strike fighters want to kind of bait the air units out from Shrike.
Yep.
The Shrike fighters.
Shrike fighters.
And they are not actually going to get any hits off. Uh-oh, 2 of them die there. Missile battery's here, though, and Sparrow has no afterburner, so he's actually going to take 2 hits there, I think.
Yeah, I think it was 2 separate interceptors, so he got lucky.
Oh yeah, he didn't lose any. And Shrike lost 3.
I also think when you're fighting on top of the enemy carrier, he can only pull out 3 at a time, and
Yeah.
no, it's 7 versus 3. And that's
Yeah.
just simple math.
Not a fight that the 3 are likely to beat, eh? Sparrow, by the way, just now moving up onto 3 base here. But Shrike is just now getting up there as well. I noticed he was repairing his support cruiser, although he didn't actually end up finishing that, I suppose.
Yeah, it takes a bit too long to sit there and not expand.
Yeah,
think-
like unfortunately that damage on the SC really just kind of has to stay. It's not really worth too much to like get it repaired.
All right, let's see. Did he just finish AC production right now? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, maybe this sounds a little silly, but like I think Assault Cruiser Anti-Air would be really nice here, and Support Cruiser Anti-Air might not even be that bad either, but we'll have to see how the game develops.
Whoa.
I know, it's kind of usually a meme tech, but the thing is, like, his anti-air units basically stop the interceptors from attacking onto that location, which means that the strike fighters can hold the bomber off. And so if he needs it, he could actually get that tech, but Assault Cruiser Anti-Air, meanwhile, actually is just quite good, I think.
Yeah, I think. Wait, did he just?
Well, I don't think he's gonna get it because he just said in chat that AC Anti-Air was useless, so doesn't look likely.
It looked like Sparrow pulled out a bomber and then immediately sent it back. I don't know if that was a misclick on the hockey. Yeah,
Oh no, he just did it twice. Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little bit rough. He's gonna build 5 before he launches, though. This is kind of interesting. And he's got the recharge upgrade on the way, by the way. Oh, okay. You know why he's doing this is because he needs to launch them and dock them again for the ammo upgrade to apply. Yeah, actually, A-Game just figured it out at the same time as me. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, if you didn't know this, there's an interesting thing with the ammo upgrade, which Sparrow has gotten. You have to get the ammo upgrade before the bomber is built in order to get the get that applied to it. And so Sparrow had built the bombers first, so he launches them and then docks them again, and then the ammo upgrade will apply. Kind of funny, but that's just how it is. He's gonna launch 3 here. I don't know why he doesn't go with all 4. He's gonna take out this missile battery almost immediately. Flying this guy really pretty risky here, though. Yeah, one of them gonna maybe go down if he's not careful here.
It looks like he's just gonna overwhelm Shrike with air here.
Yeah, that main base location really gonna get hammered. And this is why I was saying maybe Sport Cruiser Anti-Air is not a terrible call here, but... because, like, he wants these strike fighters to be able to fight with the interceptors. That'll hold the bombers off, but... Right now, though, he's overcommitting, because if these ints turn and just fight him... Yeah, he's gonna start losing guys really in a bad way here.
Yep.
Obviously, you know strike fighters not as good at anti-air as interceptors are. And the other thing is that if he wanted to, he could maybe even get, like, afterburner tech here. He's gonna confirm the kill on O'Hara over here, though. Down he goes. Oh, look at... Wait a minute. He's got a Soul Cruiser anti-air. Hey. Nice.
He only lost one salve. So not a total loss. The thing is, right now, with those bombers, gonna be very hard for Shrike to actually push with his cruiser. He's gonna need...
Yeah, he definitely doesn't want to move out across the midfield here. Right? What he wants to do, these assault cruisers are very nice because they hold the interceptors off, and they also can fight the assault ships, so kind of does both of those for you. And then the strike fighters have to be there to kill the bombers, right? But if he moves these assault cruisers out in the midfield, the bombers will just chew them up. And so this is really quite bad, actually. Strike fighters meanwhile going to launch onto the assault ships. He really can't be doing that. And he's going to move the ACs out into the middle of the field, and they're just going to die there, so... Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm worried he's not really quite controlling this right. AVs are out here on the main, though, so they can smoke these salvagers. We probably won't get too many losses here. But yeah, bombers coming in here. And down go the assault cruisers. And that's like a big loss. I mean, that's a lot of CU, it's a lot of RU. It's kind of lost for nothing there. So down they go. And the third base salvagers also got cleaned up from Sparrow here, so Shrike gonna have to fully rebuild his base now. Things are starting to look a little bit dire here.
Yeah, he smoked the salvagers, but I think he got a bit lazy in pulling them actually off the line. I think he could have saved them there.
Yeah. Shrike informing us the AC anti-air doesn't fire apparently when you use the repair, so I didn't actually know about that. But yeah, like that's just really not how the ACs want to be used here at all, right? They need to be back with the army, hold off the assault ships. That's where he wanted them, and then if the bombers try to commit in here, basically the ACs give you anti-air the same way that the missile batteries do. You know, locations that the interceptors can't be, which means your strike fighters are totally free to come in there and trade. And strike fighters will kill bombers in a way that normal anti-air just kind of doesn't do it. So definitely just not really quite controlling the units right here, but.
But I mean, you did see the AC anti-air actually killed a lot of strike fighters, or interceptors, I should say.
It did, yeah. There's only one left. Missile batteries here, kind of just chilling out in the open again, though. And Shrike needs to be launching strike fighters right now. Oof. Yeah, he didn't launch the strike fighters, so he's not going to get these kills on the bombers. No, A-game, I'm pretty sure it doesn't. It might be worth looking into, but I'm pretty sure it does not. Scared of ints in it. Yeah, that's the thing, though. There's actually only one left, so...
I actually probably doesn't know how many he's killed, because I think when I was watching them, and they were just kind of flying over these shooting him down.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't paying attention to that time.
Also, Rampa, what is this? Everybody knows they're peanut bombers, right? By the way, we do have some idle salves on the main base getting retired here. We're starting to mine out. So, we're reaching that endgame position once again that we've seen before in this series. Again, no base runner pressure really from either player. Looks like Sparrow's actually entirely mined out his main, I think. At this point, though, I really want to see Sparrow be more proactive with that carrier. But again, neither player is really invested into power, and so I don't think that they can afford to go for, like, power plays here. And it's going to be artillery from Shrike. But
yeah, it looks like Sparrow went railgun tech. He has 4 heavy rails out already. I think this actually is going to be the right call here. It looks like Shrike has no counter to railguns.
Yeah, it's just tricky because there's 5 bombers out, right? And that can really do a lot of damage. So Shrike needs to make sure he doesn't lose any, like, artillery to the bombers here. Yeah, this is a lot of skims over on this side, though. They've got armor 1. Gonna kill some salves off the main base. It's not a huge problem, of course, because obviously, yeah, obviously these, you know, these RUs are not that valuable. There's only like 300 of them left. The thing is, though, because there's actually ACs and missile batteries here, I'd be really worried for those skims. They can easily die, actually, to those units. And this is a lot of missile batteries, but they're so bunched up here.
Does the AC have longer range than the missile battery for anti-air?
I think its turret doesn't have to rotate is the thing, but I'm not exactly sure. Artillery's out now, gonna announce his presence with a little shot over there onto the, Oh no, why is Shrike making a push here? This is so risky, I mean, look how bunched up all of his units are here. Yeah, if the bombers want to, they can just have a field day here, absolutely. However, these skims are getting really chunked now. Barrage comes out on the artillery cruiser, but there's actually a lot of, like, damage on that SC already. It's gonna go down really quick. Rails are all low now from that barrage. You know what Shrike really needs? Those support cruisers. It's really kind of bad that he lost that one.
Yeah, it's...
Bomber's gonna come in
doesn't
here.
Seem to have the money to replace it though. Yep, Bomber's coming.
This is probably an overcommit. I mean, there is a lot of anti-air here, to be fair. But if you can kill off the anti-air, then the bombers that remain are just gonna have a field day for sure. So maybe this is worth it. Maybe it isn't. At any rate, though, he's clearing up the field for these railguns to get in quite nicely. Strike Fighter's finally just now launching, though, and they really should have launched before. And they need to clean up the kill on this bomber here. They're going to go for the railguns instead. Actually, maybe that makes more sense, because obviously he's going to lose to these rails otherwise. And that assault cruiser is dead, too. Yeah, the skims commit in onto the AC. I don't exactly know what they're doing here, but they will go down. Shrike's carrier down to 20% here, but he's killed off a lot of the bombers. There's only 2 left from Sparrow. He's got the money to replace all of them, though. Look at this. He just queues up all 3 of the bombers. Oh my. The only thing missing, though, again, is this artifact pressure, right? I'd love to see Sparrow get like a base runner, because he could have extracted during this window.
Oh, this is what he was talking about, what they don't actually shoot air when they are healing.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if he'll die here, actually. Yeah, he's gonna lose one. Oh my. Yeah, A-Game's right about that one. Has 1,300 RUs, makes LAV. I mean, what he really needs here is support cruisers, right? But support cruisers, more assault cruisers, and and artillery cruisers, right? All 3 of those. But wanted LAVs to counter the rails. Yeah, I guess I can get that, but I mean, you've got the RUs to get artillery, and I think that's going to do the job better.
Yeah, these are also completely unupgraded LAVs with no boost.
Yeah. AC and RD too expensive? Not when you've got 1,400 RUs in the bank, man. I don't know about that. Again, though, when the air commits in, if Shrike was less bunched up, he wouldn't have even lost, like, the missile batteries in that last fight.
I actually think ACs are fairly decent against rails.
Oh my gosh, he's just gonna kill the carrier here. What the... Oh man, I didn't even realize this was happening. Wow. Good play by Sparrow, man. I totally forgot that he could do that.
Yeah, it happens so infrequently that you just see an air raid like that.
Yeah, just to kill off a carrier. And that's going to bring the series to 2-2, by the way, so we are going to the ace match. Oh boy. Hold up, let me get game 3 loaded in here. Always exciting when we see an ace match. Yeah, a tight end passage. And this one, by the way, gonna be Shrike's pick for the last map. I wonder though, this is a good map for Rail Rush, and I really feel like Sparrow, he hasn't been doing that in this series, but like, he could totally make this work. Obviously, you know, tight end passage, very, very open map. Rail's just gonna have a field day here, there's a lot of high ground to get.
So can, honor guard cruisers.
That's true. That's very true. Well, I'm at 2955. Tell me when you are.
I am 2955.
Cool. 3, 2, 1, go. Sparrow with 2 RUs or 2 salvagers coming out here. Seems to be keeping that base burner. This may be ref mode. As for Shrike, though, he retires the base burner and no probe this time. I gotta say, I'm actually a fan of that. He wants to queue up LAV Fab now, though, because this is probably Rail Rush, or AV Rush, right? Yep, there it is. Yeah, A-Game with a very good point in chat. Have you ever had to retake your third on this map? Because it's impossible. the way that tight end passage works, and this is why I'm saying Rail Rush would be good, whoever gets like momentum onto his opponent's third is almost just certainly winning the game. Because you can see there's a big hill right here that like just really makes it super easy to hold your third. You can actually get high ground on it from this hill too, but like your opponent just doesn't actually ever have to fight you. And if you ever try to hold up that third base, he'll just, there's no way. Like, it's really hard to hold it if your opponent gets onto this hill. But it's the same thing for the other spawn here. You have like a high ground, actually this one's on the third base, which means it can also assault the second. Right? And like, I'm not really sure which one is worse, but they're both pretty terrible. So, this is definitely a map that rewards the player who tries to get more aggressive in the mid game and like hold his opponent out off of his third base. So, AV Fab is on the queue though, but again for Shrike, this is about 30 seconds late. So it's not gonna be the best AV rush you've ever seen.
What do you think about this map just feels almost too big for this.
Yeah, I mean the rush distance really isn't that small. Or it's like oh, I'm so bad at judging distances. This is probably like 15 kilometers, right? And the AVs as well, just obviously like they have such a hard time, you know, getting on to like railguns on this map because like there's so many really nice high ground positions, and really big open spaces in the midfield there. They're not going to be bad on this map, but they're not going to be good as like your only strategy, right? So
there are some places where you can hide them, like the Sparrow second base over the lip of the hill.
Definitely, yeah.
But you have to get them there first.
Exactly. And Sparrow going for railgun tech before ref mode here. It's really interesting to see because I think he is going ref mode, isn't he? But he's going to go for these railguns first. And because he's getting AV rush, this actually may work out well for him. But the thing is, I don't even want to see him get ref mode at all. I want to see him commit to a second PC at some point and actually just like push on his opponent here, because when he gets the railguns out, he's gonna have assault railguns probably at first. If he controls right, he'll kill the AVs, and then he can just counter push onto his opponent. And if you can hold that second base location, you have just like infinite high ground here. So that's what I'd like to see Sparrow do, but we'll have to see. Shrike getting a sport cruiser for now. Nah, it is ref mode from Sparrow. Not my favorite, of course, but he can still make this work.
I think he'll be fine here. It's ref mode. As long as he just... Okay, he should have money for a assault rail.
Yeah, he's already building one, actually. And that's good. He'll hold off the AV rush. Again, Shrike's timing just too late to really punish this. If he had 30 more seconds on these AVs, he would be at the base already. And that's where you start punishing ref mode second. But, I don't know. This is just way too late, so...
Yeah, Shrike may be realizing that. He's now decided to push the 2 base.
Yeah.
So... Okay. We're gonna have a small engagement here. I think the AAVs will be able to clean up here, but...
Well, we got the assault rail out, though, so he should be able to finish this if he's if he uses it properly here. He's got 2 now, actually. The thing is, he just really doesn't want to get into range, because once the assault rails are in range, AVs actually will out DPS them. Oh, no, don't come back into range. Oh, he had gotten away, but he came back in there. He may actually get away with this anyway, though, because that AV dies. Yeah, it looks like Shrike gonna try and back away with the other ones. LAVs want to commit onto the assault rail. They do actually get that kill. That's probably worth it for those 2.
Yep.
But still a good hold by Sparrow. He's getting his second PC now, more assault rails coming out. And he should be able to hold off this push basically forever. The thing is, though, at this point, don't you want a rail rush instead? Because I think that you kind of auto-win the game here. You know that your opponent's on AAV. He didn't have the timing right. He's too slow. Learn your build orders, by the way, people. You really got to do that.
I don't know. I feel like if he only has a single PC, and I don't think Shrike has upgrade yet. You know, he's researching right now. But if he does have production upgrade, I don't think he would actually be able to be successful with that.
Yeah, that second PC will come out, though, and you know you actually have the skimmer lead for now, so I think Sparrow could make this work. At any rate, he really wants to push on these AVs, though, because if he comes over the hill right where he is and then kind of slides along there, he'll be able to get line of sight on these guys. And if you can push off these AVs, you really want to, because like I said on this map, if you have the tempo pushing onto your opponent's second base, it's bad times for them, right? You just got, like, permanent high ground there. Production upgrade done for Shrike, no?
Yeah, Shrike, spamming LAVs, I think. And Sparrow just building more assault rails. I think this actually is benefits Shrike a lot more than Sparrow here.
Yeah, because Sparrow definitely overbuilt on assault rails here.
Yeah,
He
I
does
think
have a second
Sparrow's-
PC though.
Yeah, I think Sparrow saw the AAVs, assumed that he was going to be massing AAVs, but a good like troop transition to LAVs for Shrike here.
Assault pack isn't done yet though, so I don't think he'll be able to capitalize on this turbo wheel. The smokes are good though, they're gonna get the LEVs up into position. Actually, this is looking quite good for Shrike. Oh boy. Yeah, Assault Rail's not really sure what they want to commit onto now, but they really just need to keep kiting here. Because those AVs are going to dump out massive damage if they get on top of them. But it looks like most of them survive actually, so this is not bad for Shrike at all, or for Sparrow at all here. We do have damage upgrades coming out on these LEVs though. But if you're going to queue up this many Shrike, please get that next production upgrade, because I think you would do well to have all three of those production lines right now.
This is an interesting part where you have to decide if you want to spam LAVs for like a certain unit, or does he want to tech something else?
Yeah.
And this is a part I think like a lot of times happens, at least when I'm playing, where you and maybe it's a mistake of just making the same unit again and again and again. And here, okay, we do see him actually go for gunship, which I think is actually the correct move, especially against rail skims.
But you know it's gonna be coming. Honor guards. Anyway, keep going though.
Oh yeah, just like kind of making conscious of, you know, is this strategy working? Is spamming LEVs for this winning the game, or should I need an actual tech to win?
Definitely, yeah, yeah. If your opponent's like rail rushing, right, keep building LEVs till he's done with the rail rush. But like, at this point, I don't know. I think actually what Shrike really wants is railgun fab, but fighter and gunship's not going to be terribly bad either.
No.
And having gotten AVs already, you could go into assault cruisers if you wanted to. I actually saw dart maneuver teching though for Sparrow, and that's gonna be done now. Other thing he could get is rail armor 3. That might be pretty nice.
I think actually if Shrike commits here with boost, he can actually kill this PC.
I think so.
I think this. I'm focusing salvage is not bad, but I think that's just a bit of a missed opportunity.
Oh my! Wait, where's Sparrow's army? What the heck? Why wasn't he building skims this whole time? He had the money for it. Oh no. Yeah, this is gonna be so good for Shrike. And this is 3 PC, but there were just no skims here to defend. Oh dear. Yeah, Shrike gonna focus down one of these PCs. To be fair though, he can probably get 2 if he wants right now.
This is also, again, talking about Sparrow and not moving his carrier. This is a perfect time to do so.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Salvager's going down as well.
Interesting, Shrike techs fighter gunship, but he actually doesn't build anything yet.
Yeah,
So
he may
really
have realized, like, hey look, I just dunked everything, I might as well keep investing into these LAVs. The thing is, though, honor guards are coming out, though, so I think Tac Bomber would be the best once he sees that honor guard.
He didn't go attack bomber earlier in the series, right?
He did, yeah, on...
Oh, yes, he did
on game 3.
Krill.
Yeah, so A-Game, Sparrow actually joined the tourney after I pinged him, but, like, he saw my message, like, 10 minutes before I was gonna, like, seed the group stage. I was like, ha, nice. So it was pretty last minute there from Sparrow. I think he wants to, like, come back to the scene, though, by that. Because it was kind of on his own. I've pinged him before, and he usually says no. So I don't know. Anyway, enough about that. It is Tac Bomber Fab coming out, so yeah, he sees honor guards. Obviously, he knows he wants to get those bombers out. I'd like to see him just stack up as many strike fighters as he can here before that honor guard shows up, or sorry, before he reveals them though, because then maybe he can even kill this honor guard in just like one salvo.
Yeah, I'm interested. What Sparrow must know if he has like the LAV wasn't in a rush. I guess the AAV kind of was, but it was a bit late. He must know he's at least on 2 base. He's just spamming LAVs, so he must be having some kind of tech.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's gonna blind tech missile ship like he did last time.
I mean, definitely, you know, he should, as the omnipotent casters, but he could definitely smell this in the water here, because this is kind of... Oh yeah, look at that, he's actually taking honor guard anti-air.
Yep.
Nice.
So yeah, he does see, he does feel that there is something afoot here.
And he's right, of course. No!
it looks like
Don't nerf Honor Guard anti-air. It's the best tech in the game. I mean, maybe that's why he wants to nerf it, but it's just so fun. Anyway, Honor Guard anti-air is going to be done in about 5 seconds here. There's going to be 2 of them on the field. But Sparrow can probably still, or sorry, Shrike can probably still get kills on these Honor Guards because the bombers have such alpha damage and there's nothing else to do anti-air. I think he probably kills both of these if he plays this right. Gonna want to launch the bombers with it though, that's for sure.
it looks like Shrike gave up a lot of his fuel control. He repaired all his skimmer or his LAVs.
Yeah. He can kill these assault rails probably. Yeah, he's gonna commit onto it. Because look at how fast they're gonna melt here with this high ground. This is armor 2 on them, by the way. They just instantly die though. Oh, well, actually with the dart maneuver manages to get out of there.
Maneuver with the clutch.
Oh yeah. Bomber hits that first HGC. Second one really wants to turn on the anti-air too. Yeah, it's gonna do that just now. That bomber is out for Shrike though and didn't actually commit in. This is a bit awkward. He needs to get the strike fighters out now because the bomber is already gonna confirm the kill. The longer he stays in here, just the more strike fighters he loses for nothing really. Oh, the bomber actually didn't even need his shot. Managed to kill on the soul rail. And at this point, Sparrow really needs to tech in a missile ship and get more honor guards, I think. But this is a tough spot for him. He's got a lot of money, to be fair. But these LAVs, with the honor guards dead now, they're just going to jump in and kill another PC, probably. They can fight these skims.
Sparrow.
How much? Oh.
I think this is a fight. I want to say Sparrow wins, but it looks like the back line of the skimmers aren't actually firing the hill.
Yeah, well, Shrike could have won that, but Sparrow got a lot of really nice high ground there, so manages to outplay him a bit. He does have the upgrade disadvantage, so I think that actually, Shrike probably could have won that one, but it kind of doesn't matter because the damage has been done already. The honor guards are both dead. Missile ship tech not started for Sparrow either. It's just building another honor guard, but I mean, those bombers are not going to go away. It's a pity Shrike didn't realize he can build a third one, because I'm sure he would here. But it's actually going to be BC Fab coming out for him now. And then Bomber committed to just kill a bit of eco. That's not terribly bad. It actually only gets 1 kill though, which is interesting.
Yeah, I find bombers are usually not, like, the AoE is good, but against the salvagers actually doesn't kill too many.
Yeah.
Unless they're stacked on top of each other.
I mean, really, like, people have always been looking for AoE options to kill salvagers, like the gunship and the bomber, but the strike fighters are just really good at it, so...
Missile ship tech coming out of Sparrow now. That's what he needs.
Yeah, that's good. But you know what Shrike should really have right now is a gunship or 2, because he knows that there's still a very big commit into skims here. The bomber can maybe get kills on the skims, but you never know. They often miss here. Sparrow actually trying to get a split, but he kind of makes the bomber actually land its shot, but it only kills like 2 or 3, so... It's not terribly bad.
Yeah, it's a pretty good split, I'd say. Well, we got BC Fab.
Mm-hmm. About 5 seconds out here. Again, though, gunship would be really, really nice here. That honor guard is out, though, from Sparrow. But the thing is, like, what Shrike wants to do once he realizes it's an honor guard, he may have seen it with the strike fighters, I didn't quite catch it, but just launch both of the bombers and kill it, right? Because if it's alone, that's the only anti-air, you know, you can just alpha strike it to death, right? Launching this bomber on its own, though, really kind of sloppy because there's no follow-up here, so he's going to land a hit. Okay, takes it down to half, but he can't follow up. Honor Guard anti-air popped a little bit early, though.
I think he will end up killing this honor guard, just because...
The AVs, yeah.
Or the next bomber will actually come out. Should be able to kill it before it heals up.
No, it's going to heal too much, I think. That last one did about 1,600 damage, so it's already at more than that much health. LAV's just gonna commit right onto it. Oh, this is a little messy. He's gonna lose these guys for nothing. They've barely even gotten a shot off. And the AVs too, just have an attack order onto that honor guard. Oh, Shrike, what are you doing? Oh no.
So this looks pretty bad.
Yeah, this is a massive throw actually. Oh my gosh. Oh no.
I think this is not a... I mean, obviously this isn't good for Shrike, but if what he's doing with his carrier on the right side of the map, he's actually unlocked it, and he's about to deliver a bust of battlecruisers.
Yeah, and that could win him the game, but it could lose him the game too. This is pretty risky.
Well, I think him losing his whole army there leaves him completely vulnerable to these skims.
Yeah.
I think if Sparrow realizes that there's no army here, he's so vulnerable. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah, again, gunship, right, would be really, really good here. But it does not exist. Yeah, so people in chat talking about the people stopping moving when they lose line of sight, that's because they're only given an attack order. If you give them a move order on top of the attack order, they won't do that. So this is true, I think, in most RTS games, right? I think maybe like Age of Empires it doesn't do that, but that's kind of the only one that I can think of. It's even true in like League of Legends, but... Okay, carriers here though. The party bus strat is almost at the base. Shrike is gonna lose everything now, so...
The thing is, he hasn't actually seen the carrier. Oh,
He's
okay.
just now seen it.
Just now.
But look at this, these battle cruisers are in a really good position to kill that honor guard. Sparrow has no carrier power, so this is a very slow carrier, just gonna try and get away. This is very all or nothing because everything is gonna die on the backside for Shrike, but I think that he's gonna get away with this. This honor guard actually been allowed to live. I don't really know how that happened, but... Okay, here we go, bombers are launching. But I think honestly they should just be committed against the carrier because he can do so much damage here in just a very short time.
Yeah, it looks like Omni, you got kind of lucky with that scouting. And he just definitely was not expecting a party bus on this map.
Very nice bomber play there. Circles around and dies. But the carrier's just still so low. The second bomber's gonna do this too? What the heck? Doesn't matter though, the BCs have the damage. And yeah, the party bus works out and Shrike is gonna actually win the game. Despite losing everything back at home. I mean, look at the eco just getting ravaged over here, but he takes it, and that's obviously gonna be the game going, or the series that is going to him 3-2.
Yeah, and I mean, what a gamble at the end there. Because
Yeah.
if that didn't pay off, that was game over. So
it worked though. he definitely took the game there. And that means Shrike will be advancing into the quarterfinals, so nicely played by him. Of course, unfortunately for Shrike, that means he has to face me, so, you know, easy 3-0 for me, but... But yeah, wow, that was a really interesting series.
yeah, it was
thanks guys
interesting
for
to
tuning
see
in.
the PC build from Sparrow in game 1, and just kind of like this older style play, I think.
Yeah.
Bring
I've
it
got to
back.
say, though, really disappointed to see him going for Ref Mode 2nd. It's not a good build, and I think he definitely could have, done without building that type of, or going with that kind of build these games here. By the way, just a quick comment about the detection radiuses. When you're doing a replay, you can only see it from the green player, so I think actually there probably was a contact ping, but you can't really tell. It's hard to know these things as the green player. Anyway, but yeah, thanks guys for watching. Thanks Moose for co-casting with us, and I'll catch you
Thanks
guys
for
next
having me.
time. Yeah, no problem.